Okay, so today we're going to be ripping through some power movements. So I'm going to go ahead and tape up my knee. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the KenesioTape to support the knee. Again, I have a medial meniscus tear. And so we're just going to support the knee on this medial thigh as well as the quadriceps here. Okay, so gotta have the right kind of scissors, because if you don't, it's not gonna do too well. Right? And there's lots of different kinds of kinesiology tape, different brands. You can go with what you want. Some are like prefixed to specific body parts so that they're already pre-cut kind of strips, right? But basically, you get a tape. This is black. It might be hard to see, right? And then it's got a paper backing, right? So the point is, you take the backing off, and the tape stretches. So it's going to be able to stretch and move with the muscle, versus the old versions of paper tape that we used to roll with back in high school and college and back in the days, right? So this is actually good. Some people would put a anchor down. Typically, if I was doing a traditional tape job, it would have an anchor on top and bottom, and then support the tendons and ligament attachments between the two anchors, and then again across the quad, across the knee, and up the quad for ACL and PCL support. With the KenesioTape, you don't really need the anchor, because it's gonna stick to your skin. It's gonna stick. Believe me, it is going to stick. So for now, we're just gonna do a couple of little sections here. So I'm gonna go a little bit shorter than where I wanted to go, because we're gonna put a little bit of a stretch in there. So the good thing about this, and the theory basically behind this, is we're supporting the ligaments and tendinous attachments. So we're gonna leave it loose on the muscle belly, pull it down, stretch it tight where the ligament or the tendon would be, and then go back to loose once it reaches the other muscle belly. So here, I'm just gonna do a couple strips here for medial collateral ligament support. And so here we are, got the tape separated. I'm gonna put my first section about midway down the gastrocnemius. Pull it up. We're gonna go loose on the muscle belly, right? Loose. And then right here at the joint, right under the condyle here, the head, we're gonna pull it tight across the joint, stick that down, and then loose again on the belly of the muscle. Bam. And we're gonna do 2-3 of those. Overlapping layers should be halfway across the last piece of tape. I like cutting my own. You can cut them in half if you need small strips. If I do a lateral compartment or something, I'll do like half strips that merge into one, and then split it again into 2 or 3 strips going up the leg. But there's lots of different variations. If you're educated about the muscles, you can figure it out. If you're just beginning, you may want to get those little ones that are already set up for you to be successful for each particular type of injury. So here again, loose right up to the joint. Right when we hit the joint, I'm gonna pull it tight, across the joint, and then loose up the muscle belly. Okay, and here we've crossed over, and again, once we get it started, right, we're at this kind of 30-degree angle. We're not straight legged and we're not at 45. We're right here, because when we straighten it out, we want it to pull tight across the ligament, across the joint, and support that joint. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more across this way, bang bang, and then we're gonna do the ACL PCL support, and then we're gonna start with some cleans and some overhead presses and do some work. And I realize I'm talking to you, you can't see my face right now, is because I want you to pay attention to the knee. Alright, the knee, the knee, the knee. Alright. So again, KenesioTape. Great thing. This will last for days, honestly, because you're not gonna wanna rip it off. It's gonna be like waxing, dude. And once you get it to the joint there, pull it tight across the joint, right there, and then this again. Boom. Okay, so yeah, it'll take a few days if you just let it go. This will last a few days, so I won't have to do this every day. Right? This will actually last me probably the next 4 days until I'm back in the airport going to Ontario. Okay, so see here we have like a trifecta, right? We got one straight across, and then cross in the joint, cross in the joint. Okay. Like I said, some people would put the anchors there. It's a nice medial ligament support. You can see from the side, got lots of flexibility in the tape, and it sticks, right? It's just a little extra reinforcement. And if you got a real bad injury, close to the injury date, right? I was doing 2 and 3 layers of this with the anchor and the ACL PCL support. So that's the part we're gonna do next. This is basically you're gonna cross the knee in front and then straight up the quad. So here, a little bit tight. We're gonna be a little tight going around the knee, but we're gonna be loose on the muscle belly so it's not actually aggravating and giving you trigger points when, because it's pulling your fascia all out of whack. Okay. So again, I'm about 10, 11 weeks after injury. You guys, if you're closer to injury, you might want a little more support than this. And I still feel a little tenderness here immediately right in the joint. So again, we're gonna cross over the tibial tuberosity, right, that little bony part under the knee. Get that going, and then right on the opposite side, now we're gonna start tightening the strap. Pull it around the knee, just on the side of the kneecap to the head of the quadricep. And we're gonna relax the tape and roll it straight up the quad. Boom, just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing, wrapping onto the other side on the lateral aspect, and then we're gonna be ready to do some workout. Here, boom, lateral aspect minus the stretch, and cut. Boom. Alright, look at that. Almost done, guys, almost done. So yes, this is the workout area. I have another room adjacent this into this where we do the massage and neuromuscular work. Some of that can be done here, but most of it has to happen on the table. But this is where the magic happens. So again, we're just crossing the knee to the joint, and then we're gonna pull it tight around the knee, and relax it, and nice and smooth up the vastus lateralis. And this is going to help pull tight so that you don't end up getting the IT band syndrome during your rehab phase. Alright, so all these muscles that feed into the IT band, right, so there's a little strip right between the hams and the quads. That's your IT band. Okay? That thing right there, if all these in here get tense, it's gonna pull right in there because they feed right into that connective tissue. Okay? Don't ever foam roll your IT band. Okay? Please don't. Roll your quads, roll your hams, roll your glutes. All that feeds into the IT band. Connective tissue, fascia, doesn't stretch the way that a muscle does. So please don't roll your IT band. Alright, so there we have it. That's what it looks like. It's nice and tight up the quad, supporting the knee, PCL, ACL, and the medial ligament right there. Ready to get some work.